Morning, students. So let's just start the today's topic. So today we are going to discuss about the internet and then the standards and protocols of internet. So can anyone tell me what do you understand by the term internet? Yes, anyone? What do you understand by term internet? Okay. So basically, internet is inter network. So it is a combination of two parts. Inter means in between, means among the other among different entities, and net means network. So that means the network among the different entities. So the internet is a communication system that has brought a wealth of information on your fingertips. So basically, internet is a communication system due to which we will get a huge bunch of information at our fingertips and organize it for our use. We have the lot of information as well as we will have it in the organized manner. So internet is two or more networks that can communicate with each other. So suppose when two or more systems are able to communicate with one another, that means that is an internet. Internet means as a it is internetwork. It is in between the two networks or two or more networks. So could be two or more networks when they are connected and communicated with each other that we can consider as internet. So internet basically is a collaboration of more than hundreds of thousands of interconnected networks. So not only two, as we already discussed, that when two or more systems are connected with each other, so that means that is an internet. So it is a collaboration of thousands or thousands of internet interconnected networks that makes up the internet. So basically, this internet is between two parts, inter and network. Communication among the different networks. So internet has revolutionized the many aspects of our daily lives. Most of the time in our daily life or in today's life, we are we have a query and we are searching it on internet. See, the today's scenario is that for every kind of an inquiry, you first check it on the internet, then you will go to the concerned people or concerned person. First of all, you will get the knowledge from the internet. So that is why it will create a revolution in our daily life. So the internet has created a revolution among our daily lives. Also, it has affected the way we do business as well as the way we spend our leisure time. So it has also affected the marketing ideas of the businesses that they are doing differently before the era of internet. So most of the time when you people are kids or children, so most of the time you will see advertisements, newspapers, then in the televisions, then maybe you listen it on the radios or FMs. But now people are doing advertisements on the web platforms like YouTube, Facebook, your Gmail account, your Yahoo account. So they are taking the internet as to increase their business, as well as we also now the in our kids time. So we generally used to spend our free time by playing games, by playing outdoor games or indoor games like badminton or table tennis or any kind of other things that may require the physical efforts to do. But nowadays, most of the time we start spending our time on the internet. So internet is a communication system that has brought a wealth of information to our fingertips. Clear? Okay, so basically these are the internet service providers. ISPs are the internet service providers. They are connected to the regional ISPs, and regional ISPs are connected to this international ISP. Then when two ISPs will communicate with each other, they are connected through this NAP, and again this is the another network that contains ISP and regional ISPs. Now suppose you are in Amritsar, so your Amritsar ISP is working, then Jalandhar ISP is there, so they all are reporting to the Punjab ISP, and it is reporting to the national ISP, Indian ISP, and maybe it will become the Asian ISP like this also. Internet service provider basically that will provide the internet services to your devices like desktop, laptop, or mobile phone also. Okay, and the examples of this ISP are like this Airtel, Idea, Vodafone. Uh, okay. And this NAP is network access point that will connect between the two ISPs. Clear? Okay. So then we discuss about the history of internet. The first computer networks were dedicated special purpose systems such as Sibri, an airline reservation system, and an auto then one, a defense command and control system, both designed and implemented in the late 1950s and 60s. So basically, you can say that the internet has been started in 1950s. So by the early 90s, computer manufacturers began semiconductors technology in commercial products, and both conventional batch processing and time sharing systems were in place. In real time executions will be there with the advancement of the technology. And then if we talk about the very first internet that will become the ARPANET was one of the first general purpose computer networks. So it is developed by connecting the time sharing computers at government supported research sites and universities in United States. and soon it will become the important part of the infrastructure for computer science and research community in the United States. Okay, so internet today is basically made of many LANs and WAN, local area networks and wide area networks. So every day new network areas added and removed. Some networks may be added and some may be removed. And the internet service providers are used for offering services to the end users. Basically, we users are the end users. So I am giving you the lecture and you are listening it on the Zoom application via internet. So we are the end users, and some internet service providers are offering us the services. So these service providers are divided into four types: international service providers, national service providers, regional service providers, and local service providers. So now at this point, we are using the local service provider. And suppose when we move from our local area to the other area, that will become the regional service providers. When we talk about the whole India, it will become the national service provider. And then uh, when suppose my number is on Airtel and I am traveling to Dubai for some kind of work, and I don't want that and there I will issue a new system and send it to everyone, new SIM card or send it to everyone. I will take the international validity and with some contracts of Airtel or other companies with the international service providers, they are giving me the services over there also. So that will become the international service providers. So clear with this internet? Yes, students, clear? So next is protocols and standards. So basically they are interlinked with each other. The protocol basically is a rule and standards mean agreed upon rules. So whenever you create an account over a Gmail or a Facebook or some other kind of social media or any website, there are terms and conditions. Terms and conditions are there. So that means that terms and conditions are basically protocols. Clear? And when you are agree upon these rules, you will agree upon the terms and conditions that will become the standards. Okay, so agreement upon the rules or protocols is become the standard. So protocol is a set of rules that govern the data communication. It will define what type of data will be transferred from source to the destination, how it will be transferred, like if we have a whole packet and that packet will be transferred from one point to another in a whole. So basically protocol is a set of rules that govern the data. It will define what type of data, how it will be stored, like it will be transmitted as a whole packet or this data will be divided into a number of parts and then when it will be communicated. it will be communicated at a specific time or at a specific destination, as well as on a real time. So elements and semantics of protocols and standards are: elements are the syntax or structure of the format of data. For example, 8-bit address of sender and 8-bit address of receiver. There are basically many types of headers are there, but for the time being, users understood that suppose this is the structure, like we have the address of sender as well as the address of the receivers. So semantic means meanings of each section of it. For example, does the address is a route to be taken for the final destination of the message. Like if the situation is A and this is B, so it will be decided semantically whether the message will flow from A to B or it will move from A to B and then to the C. So this matrix will decide whether the route is direct or it will be an through the intermediate node. So in A and C, B will be the intermediate node. Clear? Yes, and everyone up to this point, is it clear? Okay, so I am again telling you that after every lecture, I will send you the video reference. So basically, that video reference is this lecture itself, or the lecture of the day itself. I am recording this lecture, and whenever you find any doubt, you can go on that video lectures. In that case, I have created a playlist of your computer networks subject. Either you miss any lecture, just go to that playlist. The day-wise list of lectures will be there. Even the topic will be already be mentioned over there. Like today we have discussed the protocols and standards. So the video name will be Protocols and Standards, 1st September 2021. Clear? So you can also get those lecture over the YouTube after on the evening of the same day, or maybe on the next day. Clear? Okay, so timing means when data should be sent and how fast they can be sent. When data should be sent, either you have implemented a timer over there and how fast it can be sent. That totally depends upon the speed of the medium, that how much data will be handled by that medium. For example, sender produces data at 100 Mbps, but the receiver processes data only 1 Mbps overload, and so that will become the overload and data lost. Clear? So standards are essential in creating and maintaining an open and competitive market for equipment manufacturers. It guarantees the national and international interoperability of data and telecommunication technology and processes. And it also provides the guidelines to manufacturers, vendors, government agencies, and other service providers to ensure the kind of interconnectivity necessary in today's marketplace and in international communication. Now, suppose there is a jack of LAN cable, uh, whether it could be developed by any company, the number of pins as well as the size and type of the connector will be same. Whether it will be developed by a Wipro or IBM, basically these companies are not developing it. I'm just taking the example. So the jack of the LAN cable, if built by IBM, Wipro or TCS, they could be same with its shape, size and number of pins. So standards are developed through the cooperation of standard creation committees like ISO, ITUT, CCITT, NSI, and IEEE. Then there are forums that are created by special interest groups. They will present their conclusions to the standard bodies. Then the regulatory agencies are there, like Ministry of Telecommunication and Information Technology, and their purpose is to protect the public by regulating radio, television, and communication. Means any communication medium will comes under the Ministry of Telecommunication and Information Technology. So its categories are two categories: de facto, not approved by organized body but adopted as standards through widespread use, and de jure, legislated by an official recognized body. So internet standards tested thoroughly, test specification that is useful to either to by those who work with the internet. It will be implemented by those who work with the internet, or you can simply say that it will be implemented on the internet service providers, and there are some formalized regulations that must be followed. So specification becomes the internet standards, begins as internet draft for 6 months. First of all, they will have to draft for 6 months. Upon recommendation from the internet authorities, the draft will be published, and if there are any comments, RFC is edited and assigned a number and made available to all interested parties. Okay. So this is it with today's lecture.